Boy first started, I jumped on they shit and cleared all they shit from, all they artists, I fuck with Freedom. But, I don't know what the fuck happened with Top, bro. I don't know what.
This is the story of how two Baton Rouge legends went from mentor and mentee to bitter enemies, and how one shocking quote from Boosie Badazz revealed just how close this beef came to turning deadly. NBA YoungBoy and Boosie Badazz defined different eras of Louisiana hip-hop, and for years they stood on the same side. February 2022 changed everything with a single line in a song, and what followed included public disses, explosive interviews, and Boosie admitting on camera that the only reason he didn't escalate things further was because, in his words, "I don't want to kill him." Here's exactly how this beef started, how it escalated, and what happened next. Understanding what these two meant to each other before the fallout is essential to grasping why this hurt so much. Boosie Badazz, born Torrance Hatch Jr. on November 14, 1982, built Baton Rouge rap from the ground up. The man grew up in South Baton Rouge and faced tragedy early when his father was murdered in 1997. Back in 2007 and 2008, he was putting Louisiana on the map with hits like Wipe Me Down and Independent. Prison time came between 2009 and 2014, murder charges that he was acquitted of in 2012 followed, and kidney cancer in 2015 nearly killed him since he also battles type 1 diabetes. Through all of that, he emerged as the undisputed OG of his city. And when he got out of prison, he changed his name from Lil Boosie to Boosie Badazz in 2014 to signal a new chapter. NBA YoungBoy, born Kentrell Gaulden on October 20th, 1999, represents the generation that came after. His grandmother raised him after his father received a 55-year prison sentence, and he dropped out in 9th grade before buying equipment from Walmart to start making music at just 14 years old. His first mixtape, Life Before Fame, dropped in April 2015, and his breakthrough came with 38 Baby in 2016. Atlantic Records signed him for $2 million by 2017, and he went on to become the highest streaming American artist on YouTube for multiple years running. At just 25 years old now, he's arguably the most commercially successful rapper to ever come out of Baton Rouge. What a lot of people forget is that these two weren't just from the same city, they actually worked together extensively, and Boosie treated YoungBoy like family. Boosie appeared on YoungBoy's breakthrough mixtape 38 Baby in 2016, and the following year he showed up in YoungBoy's video for 41 alongside Meek Mill, Young Thug, and 21 Savage.
I mean, I'm surprised that y'all talked 2 weeks before. This, to me, I'm like, okay, there must have been some tension leading up to it. Like, y'all must have been on bad terms, something. One last question. If he were to call you up and say, yo, let's work it out, would you do it?
I don't want to talk to that nigga.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to talk to that nigga,
Another collaboration came in 2018 on Boosie's project Southern Smoke, and the relationship went deeper than just music. When YoungBoy got locked up in 2019, Boosie publicly demanded his freedom and posted on social media saying, "Free YoungBoy, we got a tape that's ready. Let's talk and get this to the streets and make some money." February 2020 brought an announcement from Boosie on Instagram Live that their collaborative album was almost done with 9 songs recorded and ready to go. When Wendy Williams criticized YoungBoy in 2021, Boosie stepped up and defended him. And when YoungBoy sat in federal detention, Boosie vouched for his release. This was a mentor-mentee relationship where the 42-year-old OG looked out for the younger generation. Boosie paved the way for artists like YoungBoy to thrive in Baton Rouge, and he treated the younger rapper like an extension of his own circle. That's why YoungBoy suddenly turning on him blindsided everybody who knew their history. February 22nd, 2022 arrived, and NBA YoungBoy dropped a track called I Hate YoungBoy. Lil Durk was the main target of this song since it served as a response to Durk's track Aha that dropped the same day. YoungBoy was sitting on house arrest in Utah at the time, and he was ready to go to war lyrically with seemingly everyone. On this one track, he went after Lil Durk, Gucci Mane, 21 Savage, Lil Baby, the deceased King Von, Durk's girlfriend India Royale, Apple Music, and YouTube streamers, among others. The song eventually ended up on his album The Last Slime 2, which dropped in August 2022, but by then the damage was already done. Buried in all those disses was one line that caught everybody off guard, where YoungBoy rapped, "Feel like Boosie don't even like me, bitch, don't call my phone." One line, that's it. People who knew their history understood that line was devastating, given everything Boosie had done for YoungBoy's career. Boosie responded almost immediately on his Instagram story with genuine hurt in his words, saying, "He pissed me off though, dude, hurt my feelings." That wasn't Boosie coming out swinging. That was Boosie sounding like someone who just got betrayed by family. The man who had publicly advocated for YoungBoy's freedom, defended him against critics, and recorded 9 songs for a collab album had just been dissed on a track that the whole world was listening to. March 2nd, 2022 brought Boosie's response track, about a week after the initial diss dropped. The title alone served as a direct clap back. "I don't call phones, I call shots" was what he named it, and he included it on the deluxe version of his heartfelt album. YoungBoy said, "Don't call my phone," and Boosie came back saying he doesn't call phones at all because he calls shots. The implication landed immediately for anyone paying attention. Boosie made it known on the track that this would be the first and last time he addressed this publicly, rapping, "If you felt that way, why you ain't call me on my phone number, bitch, you know you wrong." The bars continued with, "Don't go clear a dude's song, but fake it like you a dude's dog, that's that fake shit." And then the warning landed, "Don't speak on me no more, little man, you know I don't go for that, let's keep it real, dog, you was a hoe for that." The real issue, according to Boosie, was that YoungBoy wasn't clearing his songs and features for Boosie, while Boosie had been clearing songs for YoungBoy throughout his career. Years of supporting this kid, putting him on tracks, showing up in his videos, and defending him publicly, and YoungBoy wasn't returning the favor when it came to music clearances. That felt like betrayal to Boosie, especially after everything he had done to support the younger artist's rise. Gucci Mane jumped in 2 days after Boosie's response dropped, since he was also dissed on I Hate YoungBoy. His track Publicity Stunt released on March 4th, 2022 and included the lines, "He's trying to pull a publicity stunt. Why you diss me for publicity, man? Is you in the streets or in industry?" Publicity Stunt replaced the track I Hate YoungBoy at #1 on YouTube's trending chart, and the story wasn't over because what came next shocked everyone. May 13th, 2022 brought Boosie to Vlad TV for a sit-down interview, and this is where things got intense. When asked why he responded to YoungBoy with a song instead of picking up the phone or handling it differently, Boosie gave an answer that shocked everyone, saying, "Because I don't want to kill him, so I just wanted to say what I had to say." Let that sink in for a moment. Boosie openly admitted that the only reason he chose to respond with music instead of escalating was because he didn't want to kill YoungBoy. This wasn't tough talk for the cameras, this was Boosie explaining the conscious decision he made to keep things from going further. Context matters here because Boosie has stated publicly that 95% of local murders in Baton Rouge are tied to rap beefs. Nothing about that statement was hypothetical, since he was explaining why he made a conscious decision to keep this in the realm of music rather than letting it spill into the streets. During the same interview, Boosie went on Instagram Live and told his fans, "Can y'all please get off my live with that shit? He said what he said, I said what I said, I don't want to pop his top, real shit." He also dismissed YoungBoy's original diss by saying, "I was just saying some shit like he do, that's all I felt. I ain't even take that shit to heart, really." Clearly he did take it to heart though, because you don't release a response track called "I don't call phones, I call shots" if your feelings aren't hurt. The title alone carries weight in Baton Rouge, where street reputation means everything. Boosie declared during this period that he wanted nothing to do with YoungBoy going forward, and the mentor-mentee relationship was dead. Two artists who had collaborated multiple times and recorded an entire album together were now on opposite sides. Silence followed in the months after, with no direct escalation and no physical confrontations. Both artists seemed to understand that this could go somewhere very dark if they kept pushing, especially given what Boosie said about murders being tied to rap beefs in their city. Tension simmered beneath the surface though, and November 2023 brought complications when Boosie's son Tootie Raw got involved. Tootie went on Instagram Live upset because YoungBoy hadn't cleared a feature for him, saying, "Why B ain't clear my feature? I don't really fuck with that dude either. I don't respect it." Boosie now had to worry about his own son getting pulled into this beef, and he admitted publicly that he was worried about Tootie crashing out because his son had issues with both YoungBoy and Kodak Black at the time. The same clearance issues that started the beef between Boosie and YoungBoy were now affecting the next generation. The beef wasn't just about Boosie and YoungBoy anymore, because it was spreading. And Boosie as a father had to consider what that meant for his family. February 2024 brought a revelation when Boosie let something slip during an interview with Cam Capone News. His exact words were, "I don't really want to comment on that shit. Me and YB got an understanding on some shit right now. You know, I ain't speaking on him, he ain't speaking on me. We ain't really talking about nothing. I don't want to talk about him, he don't want to talk about me. We gonna keep it like that." A truce had been reached without anyone knowing. Somewhere behind the scenes, Boosie and YoungBoy had apparently agreed to a ceasefire where they weren't cool, but they weren't at war either, just mutual avoidance. Both artists would dodge questions about each other in interviews, refusing to add fuel to a fire that could easily reignite. November 2024 tested that ceasefire though. A track titled Active leaked online, allegedly by NBA YoungBoy, and people claimed it contained new disses at Boosie while mentioning associates that both artists knew. When Vlad TV asked Boosie about it, his reaction revealed a shift. He said he wasn't even sure if it was aimed at him and speculated it might just be a promotional move to generate buzz. Unfazed is how he came across, calling his relationship with YoungBoy a love-hate relationship. That phrase right there suggested something had changed, because this wasn't the same energy as 2022, and Boosie wasn't ready to go to war over a leaked track. The truce appeared to be holding despite the speculation. April 2025 changed everything when Boosie's daughter Seven was born on April 22nd. A phone call came through from an unexpected number, and NBA YoungBoy was on the other end congratulating Boosie on the birth of his daughter. During that call, he told Boosie something unexpected by saying to drop their mixtape, the one they'd been working on back in 2020 before everything fell apart. 3 years of beef, and YoungBoy was the one who initiated the reconciliation by reaching out, congratulating Boosie on his new baby, and giving the green light to finally release their music. The 9 songs they had recorded before the falling out could finally see the light of day, and that's when things escalated in a completely different direction. August 2025 brought a FaceTime call between Boosie and YoungBoy, when Kevin Gates unexpectedly popped up on the call, followed by Fredo Bang joining too. Boosie described it on Vlad TV on August 20th, 2025 by saying, "They fucked my head up, I was getting on there with YB, Gates popped up on that dude, then Fredo popped up." The significance of that moment was massive because Kevin Gates and Fredo Bang had their own issues with each other and with other people in the Baton Rouge scene. One FaceTime call managed to squash multiple beefs at the same time, putting 4 of Baton Rouge's biggest names on one call making peace. This represented a historic moment of Baton Rouge hip-hop unity that nobody saw coming. Right after that call, Gates sent Boosie a record, YoungBoy sent Boosie a record, and Boosie sent them records back. Collaborations started happening immediately, and Boosie confirmed that music was on the way from all of them. November 14th, 2025 finally brought the release that fans had waited years for. The album is called 225 Business, named after the Baton Rouge area code that both artists share. 14 tracks spanning roughly 46 minutes of music make up the project they started recording back in 2020. The one that got shelved when YoungBoy dropped that diss in 2022. TMZ caught up with Boosie in November 2025, and he expressed excitement about the collaboration finally coming out after everything they had been through. People are calling it 2 eras, 2 energies, one unmistakable Louisiana DNA. The project represents not just a musical collaboration, but the resolution of one of hip-hop's most intense beefs in recent years. The beef is officially over, the music is out, and Boosie and YoungBoy are collaborating again after 3 years of tension. This beef could have ended very differently, and Boosie said it himself when he explained that the reason he responded with a song instead of handling it another way was because he didn't want to kill YoungBoy. 95% of murders in Baton Rouge are tied to rap beefs, according to Boosie, which meant that statement wasn't exaggeration but rather a reflection of the reality in their city. Both artists ultimately chose music over violence, and the fact that YoungBoy was the one who reached out to make things right says something about growth. A phone call to congratulate Boosie on his daughter opened the door to reconciliation, and that one call led to the legendary FaceTime with Gates and Fredo that squashed multiple beefs simultaneously. The result was a joint album that fans had been waiting 5 years for since Boosie first announced they were working together. YoungBoy's 2025 has been massive beyond just this reconciliation, with his Massa tour grossing approximately $70 million and placing him among the top 10 highest-grossing rap tours ever. After being released from prison on July 27, 2025, he's been making moves. This is how beef should end, not with tragedy, but with a phone call, a collaborative album, and 4 of Baton Rouge's biggest artists on FaceTime squashing everything. The 2025 is united again. If you made it this far, drop a comment and let me know what you think about the 2025 Business album. Is this the collab you were waiting for? And do you think this piece will last? Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're not already, and I'll catch you in the next one.